Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Gemini, is the Queen of Swords. Now this is an air suit energy, and you are the mutable air sign. Mutable air signs are very flexible in terms of, how they adapt. They're very flexible in their the communication styles and their understanding styles and all of that. And I feel a similar kind of energy with this Queen of Swords over here. She's standing on a balcony, and look how solid the balcony is. I mean, it looks like a really solid foundation that you have created for yourself, Gemini. And of course, it's the winter season out here, so some of you, could be in cold places, so that there's winter. We're almost done with the winters. We're almost entering the spring season. So, yeah, this is like energy where, the winter season, and look at her. She's wearing like beautiful, warm, purple robes. Very classy. So some of you probably have very classy styles and tastes. But this is also luxury, because look at the fur. Fur is not cheap. Fur is very expensive. So some of you might be having these kind of robes, but it speaks of luxury, somebody who has a strong foundation financially and a good taste, the finances to enjoy that. Also, if you look at the expression, like so, so like the Queen of Swords. I mean, she's very sharp. She looks very sharp. And she has a sword. She's like, she looks a little bit like, she looks like nothing could impress her, She's like completely unimpressed by anyone's nonsense kind of attitude is what I'm picking up from her expression. So, and the sworn suit is all about clarity. It's about, stripping things to the bare bones to see the truth that's hiding underneath, not somebody that you can manipulate or kind of, she's not the one who goes after the glittery stuff. She goes after the real stuff, she believes in the real stuff. And especially with the Queen of Swords, I would say, like, she's been through it, she's been through the storm. And now she has become the storm. Unapologetically. We just had Women's Day, so some of you could be in this energy already, You're wearing this crown and you're doing it right. Here, Geminis. Now, the Sword of Hers, she's very smart about where she wants to use it, for getting the clarity, for cutting through the BS, and seeing the real picture. And she's learned to get, and actually she got to this point because of all the experiences, that she's been through that has made her wiser, stronger, and authoritative. So some of you could be leaders, in leadership positions, very wise, beyond your years. And when it comes to winter season, there's a lot of purple hues here. Purple hues are about the higher chakras. The third eye chakra, the crown chakra. So it's like a lot of wisdom, a lot of connection to the divine, to the higher self. Somebody who knows what's going on, is grounded in reality. You cannot sway this queen because she's been through it and she survived it all. So she has clarity of situations, like what people are capable of. People might have just, been mean at times, said things, did things, underestimated her capabilities, but she's been through it, she survived through it all. And I feel that, Mercury is your ruler, Gemini. Right now it's in Pisces. So, it's debilitated in Pisces, and that creates a little bit of a tension. So you might be feeling a little bit of tension right now. So best thing for you to do is I feel that's it's like to get to the truth of things and to do it fast, like not in a reckless way. Because look at this queen, she's holding this wand, right? But she's not swinging it like recklessly. She's just like, okay, I know the truth. What am I supposed to do now? So she's thinking things through. And Mercury being your ruler, you're highly intelligent people, you're third house energy, collective third house energy. So, yeah, I feel that you have a very powerful mind. Yeah, you have a very powerful mind. And I feel that right now, I feel that you are doing things with a surgical precision. That's what I'm picking up on. And the tension that you're getting right now, that you might be feeling a little bit tensed right now because, your mind is like, you have your mind, which is like, ruled by Mercury, is probably trying to process some feelings, because see, Mercury in Pisces, well, what it does is you are trying to process, your mind is trying to process your feelings, is what I'm picking up on. And what it's asking of you to do is you won't drown in those feelings because, you haven't, your mind is ruled by the air, so you're not going to drown. But at the same time, you want to process it. You want to put a finger on it to see, what are you feeling? So when you understand what you're feeling, that's when you're going to act on it. You want to let your emotions get the better of you. You want to just process your emotions, understand where it's coming from, see what's the next step, and then you will act. And that might be creating some tension for you, Geminis. Because see, when air moves around, see, like, for example, if you put a rock, the water will move around it. But with the air, air can get through the smallest of the gaps, even in the rocks. So I feel that's what you're doing. You're trying to find those gaps. You're trying to find the truth. You're trying to find the hidden truth. Every possible, way, this way, that way. You're trying everything right now, is what I'm picking up on. Because the Queen of Swords, elementally, it's the water of air. So what you're doing right now is you're trying to understand what you're feeling, and that understanding is going to drive the actions forward. Because there is a lot of Aquarius energy with this. There's a lot of Libra energy as well. She pretty much is an embodiment of the air suit. So she's very rational in her approach. With the Libra energy, very balanced, and with the Taurus energy, it's all about truth, truth related to people. So the good thing here for you, Gemini, is that not only do you know what's going on, or you'll figure it out, but you will also know exactly what to do with what you understand or what you know. You know exactly what to do. And for you guys, Jupiter in your sign, Jupiter is in Gemini now. It's going to expand. It's going to bring that, things in your favor. It's a sign of, it's a planet of luck. Jupiter is a planet of luck. So I feel that you're feeling very confident, and, you're highly, you have that authority, that intellectual authority is what I would like to use at this point in time. But the only caveat is the Mercury placement in Pisces. Mercury is your ruler. So, like for example, there is a situation at work and you know exactly what's going on and you know exactly what to say to whom to say it. The only thing, the only challenge that you might face, I'm not saying you will, you might face, is because Mercury is in Pisces, that the words that you compose, you know, you might say it in a way that people misinterpret it. So you need to compose yourself before you say it or before you take the next action. That's the only caveat with this, with the current planetary alignments for you, Gemini. Now, some of you could be in, you know, legal professions, or some of you could be just, you know, leaders, you know, where you have to do a lot of talking, understanding, processing, like scholars, communicators, judges, writers, lawyers, along those lines. So some of you could be in those professions. And I feel that your ability to read people and things is next level right now, Gemini. So cover your bases before you say or do anything. And, you know, study the situation from every perspective, you know, all those permutation combinations. Like, if I did this, what would this person do? This, that, and the third. So evaluate at that depth and then do and say things is the thing I feel would benefit you. So it's a great energy here to be in this Queen of Swords, especially with this deck. The energy is a little different from the traditional Rider-Waite deck, because this Queen of Swords is like, you know, very intellectual person. So it's like you know what to say, you know, you can speak your truth. Your ideas, you know, not only are you sharing it with other people, but you're also applying your intelligence and your wise ideas and wisdom to your own life. So it's a great energy, you know, because like, especially for leaders, you know, when it feels like you can read everybody's mind because you say things that like everybody's probably wanting to say, but they're holding back. They might be thinking the same thing, but they don't have the courage to say it, and you have the courage to say it, so you're saying it. And people will appreciate you for that. So it's good, you know, because Queen of Swords means you're fully like factor-driven, you know. So, and air signs for the most part are almost like this at most times, unless you have a lot of watery placements or there are some transits that shift the energy, but very logical at most times. Now, if this is not your energy, Gemini, this could be an energy around you, whether at work, whether in your family, neighborhood, with your friends and family. It could be that somebody around you is trying to, you know, say something to you, but they're trying to understand like how to say it, whether to say it or not, and all of those things. Somebody might be wanting to say, but they're just holding back. So I feel that, you know, maybe you're too stern and they're afraid or whatever this is, but if you make space, or if you feel that somebody's trying to just say something that they're unable to, you can start conversations, you know, and then they'll be happy to say it out loud. Or this can also be, I'm picking up energy of, there could be discussions about some past situations that involves you. Maybe you are doing that, or somebody around you is doing that. Maybe, you know, kind of revisiting older conflicts or decisions, something that you took, or something that you took about, maybe it was a collective decision or something that you took on your own. And I feel that their ideas and perspectives might be changing up about that. You know, maybe they're getting a more deeper understanding of what's going on in regards to past issues. So for some of you, it could be that as well. Now, I'm also picking up that for some of you, there could be, like, you know, something that gets clearly defined. You know, like, these are the terms, these are the conditions, this is how it's going to be. Maybe there was vagueness, maybe there was lack of understanding facts, figures, announcements, data, or something like that. So if you were debating, like, oh, is it going to be like this, or you had less information, for some of you, you might be digging up more and getting more information. Or it might be becoming clearer to you. Somebody will convey it to you. Like, this is this, or let us do this. This is a project. This is how it needs to be done. This is the building. This is how it needs to be constructed into something. It could be at the commute. It could be in your neighborhood where you're living. Like, something gets defined. Like, oh, you know what? At this community, you need to park the car here, not there, or something like that could also be changing up around you. I'm also picking up that, especially if you are a working professional, there might be opportunities for, in your office place that you are being considered for, but you might not be aware about it yet. But I feel that people are considering you for a position or maybe a project or something that you have not been made aware of. But it's because they understand how smart you are in understanding situations and how strategic you are with your solutions and understanding of problems and all of that. Because I feel this could be somebody who overlooked you for previous projects or underestimated your abilities. It may be the same person, maybe somebody else, but I feel that they don't want to miss out on including you in that project. But you probably are not aware of it at this point in time. I'm also picking up an energy, Gemini, that somebody, specifically if this is in regards to your personal partnership, is what I'm picking up, that they might be kind of testing you, like, how far will you go? Will you bend under pressure? What are your standards? How much do you love yourself? How much do you respect yourself? And all of those things. But just know that, you don't have to lower your standards for anybody, especially in personal partnerships. Because the Queen of Swords is not somebody who will lower their standards. You are somebody who wants somebody who is, the King of Swords. Not exactly the King of Swords, but I would say somebody who is, worth standing and being a part of, So you need to prove their worth. I feel you will not lower your standards. The other person needs to prove their worth, that they're capable of being with you, they're capable of your partnership. The next card you have, Gemini, is the Bird of Paradise. And look how beautiful this Bird of Paradise is. I'm always in awe of this flower. It just feels like a bird attached to a stem. Yeah. And it's taking flight. I feel like this is like fully Jupiter and Gemini energy. Gemini, I feel that whatever your ideas are right now, your plans, your paths, whatever it is, I feel that it's very, like it's meant to be, It's because you're meant to say it. It's because you're meant to create it or something like that. Very divinely sent. And I feel that with Jupiter in your sign, it's like expanding, it's like you're actually growing wings. So whatever you see, the actions that you take, everything, your presence is just extraordinary right now. It's unbelievable, the energy, the ideas that you bring to the table are out of this world. And I feel that, I just feel that the only thing you need to be mindful of is, not work on 100 ideas, because the Gemini is the symbol of duality in all of those scattered energies at times. And Jupiter will expand that, right? You probably have a lot of ideas, but you need to pick one that you can focus on and put your energy into, and that will grow really big. So I do feel that there is expansion here. There is growth, extraordinary growth for you. You already are magnificent, Gemini. Don't play small. If you're playing small, stop playing small. I feel you need to increase your visibility because, opportunities like never before will come to you. And I feel that it's because of your uniqueness, your unique thinking, your ways, your entire aura, personality, your energy is what's, bringing these opportunities. You're going to go really far with this. With this bird of paradise energy, it's like unstoppable. For some of you, you might be entrepreneurs, you might be creating products with ideas, starting companies and all of that. I feel that whatever you're creating is just extraordinary, something that has not been done before. For those of you that are in that energy of, starting to gauge your businesses or entrepreneurship of that, something of that kind, it's something that unique, that you have an idea that you're working on. I'm also feeling for those of you that are into traveling and with the travel rules the suit. You might be traveling to extraordinary destinations where probably you'll see a lot of this plant, bird of paradise. You might be traveling to some tropical places where you'll see a lot of birds of paradise around you. And for some of you, might be, I feel that you might be using a lot of purple, green, orange shades in your house, or redoing your backyard space with these plants. It could also be just redoing your house, or you could be changing up your wardrobe, or rebranding yourself, because I feel that, as time passes, we change, we learn, we grow, and we want to rebrand ourselves sometimes, especially if you're a business owner or something, you might be rebranding yourself. I'm getting that song, Birds of a Feather, by, Billie Eilish song, Birds of a Feather. Some of you, that could be relevant as well. For some of you, I feel that you will be communicating a lot this week, Maybe you want to talk to people that can help you, advise you, help you grow. People who are like, who have big companies. Maybe you're listening to those podcasts with people that, successful entrepreneurs or something like that, like people that have accomplished something. I feel small talk is not something that you would be interested in. I feel that you're interested in those deeper conversations for some of you. For some, it could be that if you have a business or a side gig, you might be like collaborating with people, Like even on social media, there are collaborators. So you might be getting into that space as well. Like maybe somebody's inviting you to join them or to be a part of some club organization, or it could be something that is not in your regular circle, something outside of it. You might be invited to those kind of, maybe to say something or to be a part of their community. So I'm just getting like, it's not an ordinary time, and people are really appreciating your uniqueness, the clarity that you have, the ideas that you pitch. People are really appreciating you for that this week. Now, if this is not much your energy, Gemini, it could be something around you, it could be the energy around you. Maybe some person is growing and you're seeing them grow, like they're turning into a much bigger, extraordinary version of themselves, For some of you, you could be feeling that you've outgrown your house, neighborhood, and you want a bigger house. Or you've outgrown the furniture or something like that. For some of you, it could be that. But it also could be that somebody around you, they're thinking about some kind of, I don't know, like some living situation. or some kind of finances. Joint finances could be your partner, could be somebody um, that you partnered up with in business, where you have shared finances or something like that. They're kind of thinking about it, but they probably maybe have not yet spoken out to you. Maybe they're trying to work the details out. You probably hear something in a week or two. It could be something that involves you, like, some kind of a living arrangement. Maybe a friend's family, they want to come over, or they want to invite you, or something to do with your shared finances, maybe with your partner or with, your co-owner or somebody you share the home or space with. There's something about co-ownership or, shared arrangements is what I'm picking up on. I also feel that, you could be like getting a lot of intellectual connections coming towards you, people who are like-minded. You might be meeting them as well, whether in your professional life, whether in your personal life. Some people you engage with, go out with a similar mindset and frequency. I also feel that, people are appreciative of how much you have grown. The new version or the new dimension of you that's coming up is amazing to some people around you. And I feel that, they appreciate you for that. And they might not say it yet, but very soon I feel that some messages are coming towards you, Gemini, very, very soon. And the last card for today you have, Gemini, is a message from the cosmos. And it says, wealth. Further, it says, you are moving towards real wealth and prosperity. Keep up the great work. And if you see this path this person is walking on is full of points. So, yeah, a lot of wealth is coming towards you. You're growing, expanding. Your wealth, your finances are expanding. If you're in office or corporate, you're expanding there. You're growing. Your responsibilities are growing. Maybe your title is bigger. If you have a personal business or a side gig, I feel that's growing. But a lot of wealth is coming your way, Gemini. So those were your messages, and hope you enjoyed them. So the first card you have, Libra, is the Six of Pentacles. This is the energy of, the moon in Taurus. And moon is exalted in Taurus. So for you, Libra, now, if you look at the picture, there is this person over here who looks like a merchant with this green coat. This beautiful merchant green coat. And he's giving away these coins to these kids. The kids are, they are lifting their hands up to receive those blessings, those gifts. And if you see the background, the backdrop is, it's an autumn kind of, because there are autumn leaves that are falling. So it's, autumn time is mostly like the harvest time, right? The time of community coming together, sharing the abundance and all of that. So I feel that, and also the green is the color of Venus. And Venus is blessing you with abundance here, Libra. So it's a lot of material abundance. Something that you have really worked hard for. Venus will bless you with abundance once you put in the work. And it gives you that at the right time, and you're deserving of it. And this merchant over here knows the importance of sharing that abundance. What he's doing is not charity. He's kind of like circulating his abundance. And a lot of you Libras already know this, of all the signs, you guys are born knowing this, that the resources that we have are powerful when they're shared with people. Not impulsive sharing, not emptying your purse, because if you see the merchant, he holds the purse in one hand. And of course, the pentacles that he's giving away, he also got that from that purse, but he's also holding on to it. So I feel that This is all about gracefully sharing your abundance, the time, the resources that you have. That could be any resources. Some of you could be inviting people over and cooking meals. Some of you could be sharing the produce that you have in your backyard, the flowers, vegetables, the fruits, and all of that. But if you are in a office setup and you have to allocate people resources and things like that, I think you're doing it masterfully. I feel that the way you use resources, the way you move around resources, people, things, and budgets and all of that, I feel you're doing it gracefully. People are in awe of that. And you're doing it with a human heart, with a gentleness, with that connection, with your ability to feel, feeling deeply human at the same time. So in a very heart-centered, very balanced approach out here of gracefully giving, of generosity. Some of you could actually be into a lot of charity. And it's a good way. I feel that, even spiritually, it's a good way because we know in a lot of cultures, like, even the Asians, they have a lot of red envelopes that they circulate, as a spiritual gesture. In a lot of other communities, there's like, a structured giving, which is also spiritually aligned. So I feel that some of you, and that's the key here, structured approach to things, not like overgiving or impulsive giving or people teasing and things like that. No. It's like you're coming from a space of smart sharing, distribution, and giving, but at the same time, you're enjoying the process. You're feeling joyful. There's joy in giving. So I feel that, but also stay balanced in that approach, Libra, because see, Six of Pentacles is asking you to be balanced in your approach to giving. Like, suppose somebody is asking you to do a work or some job or help them out with something, Maybe they ask it once, then they ask it again, or maybe another time, So before you just constantly say, yes, I'll do it, and all of that, you just need to understand, like, why are you saying yes to every time that person asks, or the people are asking, are you just obligated, or you really want to do it, or something like that, You need to be very balanced in giving of your time and energy at the same time. So be balanced, give and take was the keyword of this, give and take. So make sure that when you're giving, you're also receiving something, not like in a transactional kind of way, but if somebody's just taking and taking, then it throws the scales off of balance. So in that kind of a balanced way. Now, for some of you, I feel that you are kind of reviewing your budgets and finances. Like, maybe you did a course in financing, or you did a course in budget management or something, but there is a little bit more structure that you're creating to finances is also what I'm picking up on. Some of you might be getting that kind of financial support as well. Maybe it's crowdfunding, or maybe it's just some kind of loan or something that you get, which you did not expect or plan for. And that can help you in some endeavor of yours. It's like a good, welcome support. Some of you might also be paying up for some scholarships, or, giving away some kind of financial support, maybe to your kids, to your cousins, or something like that. You might be, I feel that you might be investing into somebody's future. Or maybe, investing in some way financially, or with your time, or with your advice, or paying for the college tuition or something like that could also come up for some of you. I'm also picking up an energy of negotiation. So some of you could be negotiating, because things today are so inflated, the prices and all of that. But you, Libra, like you understand how things work. You know what anything is worth paying. So you might be negotiating, like, some kind of rates or cuts or fees or something like that. You might be in that negotiation energy for some of you. Some of you might be buying property, like with 2 or 3 people, like kind of a shared investment. So it's like either you're doing it with your family, with your friends, you're co-buying a space or co-investing into some business, maybe partnerships in business or homes or some kind of a property or something related to land can also come up for some of you. And I also see in partnerships, you might be revisiting those partnerships where, there is imbalance. Like, there needs to be I'm not going to say equal give and take, but some kind of give and take. Like sometimes, just people are there for, just for receiving, they feel entitled or whatever that is. It's good to be generous, but sometimes it kind of, on the scales tip on the other side where you're over-giving or over-pleasing and people are taking. So I feel that you're going to tip the scales in your favor now. And it's a good thing to do, Things need to stay balanced socially and all of those as well. I also feel that, this could be like your friends or family, but if there is a major expense that you incurred, I feel that they are thinking about pooling it with you or sharing those expenses or, some kind of contribution towards that. So you might not be expecting it or you might not even be thinking about it, but I feel that, they might end up giving that and sharing those expenses with you. I'm also picking up an energy of somebody that's around you. Could be friends, family, community, somebody that needs your support. Not like financially. I don't pick up financially, but it could be just like, just some emotional support, or they want you to do something for them, maybe not related to money, but just help them out a little bit. But they are kind of hesitating to ask you this. If you feel that somebody's hesitating and things like that, not because they doubt that you will help, but just because they're, maybe they're like, they don't want to burden you or something like that. If you feel that somebody's holding back from asking for help, it's not a bad idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea for you to offer it to them or ask them about it. Like, are they okay? Do they need anything? And things like that. Or assure them that you are there if they need anything. Because see, this Six of Pentacles, this person is the bigger person out here, is giving away to child-like figures in a very happy, generous way. He's smiling although he's unstressed out. So I feel that if you ask, they might even say, yes, they need your help. For some of you, you are an inspiration to someone around you, where you're watching how you're able to give freely, how you're able to, you're so generous, with your time, with your resources, with your energy. And I feel that they are inspired because they want to be able to do that too. And, we meet people, so many of them, that are, they hold back their resources, their thoughts, their ideas, and all their energy. A little bit guarded kind of energy, but I feel that there's people around you that are wanting to embody this generous spirit that you have. I'm also picking up an energy where people around you want to do something nice for you. They want to either gift something to you, or, just take you out on a lunch and pay for the meal, or, some kind of, they're feeling generous towards giving it to you. Whether they borrow money from you and they haven't paid in a long time, they'll come and pay that up, or just take you out on a coffee or on a lunch or a meal and they pay for that or something like that. I feel that there is some kind of a balance that is being maintained. The universe is balancing things out for you in the next few days. The next card you have, Libra, is the lithops. This lithops is a beautiful flower, and it's a desert flower. So, and it looks like fireworks or a sunburst. It's very symbolic of mandalas. But it's, it's a very unique kind of a flower. It has the survival instincts, like, it can go a long time without any water. So, but when it gets that water, like from whichever source, whether there's a rain, whether there is some kind of, who knows, from a pulse from underground water, whenever it gets that water, it starts to bloom. I'm getting a lot of delayed bloom in for you, Libra. I'm getting that, you've been in a hiding or you've been invisible for a long, long time. I'm getting like building on something, staying invisible, You've been building your reserves, you've been doing the thing, putting in the work, and now you're ready to bloom. You're ready to showcase what you have built. You're happy with where you are. Now, building could be anything. Either you're building a house for yourself, and it's been going on for long, and now finally you have your dream house ready. Or this is like you've been studying something for a long, long time, and now you're ready to apply it, and you get a good job, and you're able to build on your career. This can also be building your own reserves, like managing. You've been maybe saving up for buying a property or for a car or something, and now you have that money to put it down or to just, put a hefty amount so that you don't have much debt or you don't owe much, not much loans, and now you're ready to buy something big. And you've been doing it in silence. You've been doing it for a long time in silence. And now you're ready to go out there and do it or present it. Maybe this is like a book you've been writing for a long, long time. Now you're ready to present it to the world. Or an art piece that you have been creating. It's like it's a delayed something, but it was under preparation. That's what I'm getting. This lit ups are known as living rocks. Because, living rocks, what does it mean? Like even the rocks, emeralds and amethysts and all of those rocks, they have a huge spiritual significance. They're like, crystals, I would say, crystallized spiritual power or wisdom. And I'm getting that for you as well. Like you have a lot of wisdom, knowledge, talent. And it's this moment for you to just bloom out into the world, release something, create something, produce something, sell something, market something. It's becoming a physical reality. It's a manifestation time for you, Libra. So, and whatever this is coming out, it's beautiful. It's magnificent, I would say. And maybe people didn't realize that you were, you have these qualities and skills and all of that. You were like, people might have overlooked you for things. Now they're seeing what you're capable of. And, your ruler is Venus. Right now it's in Taurus. It's a powerful time right now for putting your creation out there because Venus is exalted in Taurus, It has a good expression out there. It's at its highest expression. And Taurus is an earth sign. So I feel that, you might have been under a lot of pressure, I feel. But now you are like, ready to expand, to grow. It's that pressure creates diamonds kind of vibe here for you. You might be on the spotlight. You might be being recognized. More people connecting with you. You'll see your networks growing. You might be talking to a lot of people that might be impressed by your, style of talking or something like that. So I do feel that, it's a good positive time for you. For some of you, you might feel that you're not ready, but I feel that you are. If you feel that you're not ready, especially if the thought comes, oh, I'm not ready, that's exactly your sign to know that you are ready. You've been ready for a long time. So go out there and do it, whether it's, in your personal gig business or connecting with people or stepping into some kind of a role, industry, growing, bigger roles, leading teams. If you feel you're not ready, this message is telling you that you exactly are ready and you have been. And there is no reason for you to not take up that role or position. Some of you might be stepping into some kind of stage, whether it's modeling or fashion, something like that. Like nobody knew you had the talent or the potential to rise or do this. But you've been at it, in silence. You've been overlooked and all of that. And you've been at it. You've been putting the work. You've been working on yourself or your talents. Now you're receiving that spotlight. Now you're receiving that appreciation, acknowledgement. Some people might be shocked by your growth, development, and how patient you've been because, sometimes when people look at us, they're like, oh, it's like judging the book by the cover. It's that kind of vibe. Maybe people just thought that, oh, you are so silent, you have nothing to offer. And now here you come, shocking the people, with your extraordinary talents. So something that you have been working at is now fully being launched. Maybe you have a new way of being, new identity, new look. You've been doing the work, for sure, in silence. You've been laying low. But now, no more. For some of you, this could be like you stepping into more visible professions, like you could be on the spotlight, maybe, visibility either in media, on TV, on channels, on social media. You're stepping into that visibility. People are seeing you. Some people might even collaborate with you, people that you never expected, never thought, like maybe you've been watching somebody or appreciating somebody for their skills and now they want to partner with you. Something like that could even happen for you. But this is like, you have been investing into something, yourself, your skills, your talents, your something, maybe your home, your savings, your family, and now it's showing up in a beautiful way. I'm getting the energy of the song. It's called Like a Stone. For those of you who haven't heard it, it's a beautiful song by Audioslave. So listen to it, it may have something in it for you, but I'm getting like a stone kind of energy. Some of you might be listening to that song, but pay attention to the words. It might have something in it for you. For some of you, I feel that maybe somewhere in the past you made an investment, maybe into some kind of land that has now escalated in value, or some portfolio that has now, starting to bloom, and your investment, maybe people were skeptical about those investments, stock, shares, funds, whatever that is, and you invested that, you had faith, and you waited, and now that's, turned around and grown so big. For some of you, it could be that as well. Or you invested in a land that now has developed into a beautiful neighborhood and its value has escalated. Those could be possibilities with this lit up energy. I feel that, Libra, you have been kind of held back as well. You've not been sharing much. But now you are awakened to your own talents, to your own knowledge, to your own capabilities, to your own beauty, I feel. Yeah, maybe you thought that you were nothing and people were complimenting you. Maybe they were not. But you were kind of like, no, and deflecting those compliments. But now you're ready to receive it. Some of you could be receiving, ready to receive things as well. Maybe you are first hesitant to receive, whether compliments or gifts or, opportunities, whatever that is. Now you're much open to receiving it. And if you were in a space that felt like, kind of a desert, boring, dry, dull, I feel that now it's starting to feel like a grassland, something that's nice, fresh, People are putting energy, time, it's blooming, it's growing, it's looking good. For some of you, maybe you were in a bad environment and now some upgrade has happened and you're feeling so good about it. Whether it's in your office, maybe the office, you change your office, it's looking much better. You moved from an old building to a newer place, or moved from an older home or neighborhood, community, city, whatever that is, to a much brighter, beautiful place. Or maybe that same place has transformed. I also feel for some of you, this could be, it could be that there was some situation that kind of, that maybe it was like related to your family or in your office. There is some kind of a situation that has been stagnant for a long time. Maybe it was some difficult situation, that led to a negative experience or tension between people, and people chose not to talk about it at that point in time. But I feel that it could be reopened, it could be spoken about, because people are now kind of shifting their mindset or perceptions or their understanding of the situation. And they might be more open to discussing and talking or supporting and resolving things. So some situation in the past or of the past that was difficult, that was not resolved, I feel might now have an opportunity to be resolved. So I do feel that, people's understanding of you is changing. Your reputation is changing. People might have been, dismissive of you, whether at work or, in your family, friends, whatever that is. But now I feel that they are, they are willing to collaborate with you. You might get some opportunities for collaborations even, especially if you have your business or something like that. You might see a lot of people wanting to talk to you, collaborate with you, reconnect with you in some way. Because I feel that people see you're calm. They're very cool, calm, collected, on the outside. But you have that extraordinary understanding and depth from the inside. And a few people will see that now. Libra. For some of you, wellness and beauty industry might be relevant. Maybe you're investing into that, or investing into your own beauty, or opening up some kind of shops and side gigs in relation to wellness and beauty. Or this might be, it could be something that you have, maybe an ornament or something that has now appreciated so much in its value. So that could be for some of you. Now you're receiving that spotlight. Now you're receiving that appreciation, acknowledgement. Some people might be shocked by your growth, development, and how patient you've been. Because, sometimes when people look at us, they're like, oh, it's like judging the book by the cover. It's that kind of vibe. Maybe people just thought that, oh, you are so silent, you have nothing to offer. And now here you come, shocking the people, with your extraordinary talents. So something that you have been working at is now fully being launched. Maybe you have a new way of being, new identity, new look. You've been doing the work, for sure, in silence. You've been laying low. But now, no more. For some of you, this could be like you stepping into more visible professions, like you could be on the spotlight, maybe, visibility either in media, on TV, on channels, on social media. You're stepping into that visibility. People are seeing you. Some people might even collaborate with you, people that you never expected, never thought, like maybe you've been watching somebody or appreciating somebody for their skills and now they want to partner with you. Something like that could even happen for you. But this is like, You have been investing into something, yeah? Yourself, your skills, your talents, your something, maybe your home, your savings, your family. And now it's showing up in a beautiful way. I'm getting the energy of the song. It's called Like a Stone. Or those of you who haven't heard it, it's a beautiful song by Audio Slave. So listen to it, it may have something in it for you, but I'm getting like a stone kind of energy. Some of you might be listening to that song, but pay attention to the words. It might have something in it for you. For some of you, I feel that maybe somewhere in the past you made an investment, maybe into some kind of land that has now escalated in value, or some portfolio that has now, starting to bloom, and your investment. Maybe people were skeptical about those investments, stock, shares, funds, whatever that is. And you invested that, you had faith, and you waited. And now that's, turned around and grown so big. For some of you, it could be that as well. Or you invested in a land that now has developed into a beautiful neighborhood and its value has escalated. Those could be possibilities with this lit up energy. I feel that, Libra, you have been kind of held back as well. You've not been sharing much. But now you are awakened to your own talents, to your own knowledge, to your own capabilities, to your own beauty, I feel. Yeah, maybe you thought that you were nothing and people were complimenting you. Maybe they were not. But you were kind of like, no, and deflecting those compliments. But now you're ready to receive it. Some of you could be receiving, ready to receive things as well. Maybe you're first hesitant to receive, whether compliments or gifts or, opportunities, whatever that is. Now you're much open to receiving it. And if you were in a space that felt like, kind of a desert, boring, dry, dull, I feel that now it's starting to feel like a grassland, something that's nice, fresh. People are putting energy, time, it's blooming, it's growing, it's looking good. For some of you, maybe you were in a bad environment and now some upgrade has happened and you're feeling so good about it. Whether it's in your office, maybe the office, you changed your office, it's looking much better. You moved from an old building to a newer place, or moved from an older home or neighborhood, community, city, whatever that is, to a much brighter, beautiful place. Or maybe that same place has transformed. I also feel for some of you, this could be, it could be that there was some situation that kind of, that maybe it was like related to your family or in your office. There is some kind of a situation that has been stagnant for a long time. Maybe it was some difficult situation, that led to a negative experience or tension between people, and people chose not to talk about it at that point in time. But I feel that it could be reopened, it could be spoken about, because people are now kind of shifting their mindset, or perceptions, or their understanding of you, the situation. And they might be more open to discussing and talking or supporting and resolving things. So some situation in the past or of the past that was difficult, that was not resolved, I feel might now have an opportunity to be resolved. So I do feel that, people's understanding of you is changing. Your reputation is changing. People might have been, dismissive of you, whether at work or, in your family, friends, whatever that is. But now I feel that they are, they are willing to collaborate with you. You might get some opportunities for collaborations even, especially if you have your business or something like that. You might see a lot of people wanting to talk to you, collaborate with you, reconnect with you in some way. Because I feel that people see you're calm. They're very cool, calm, collected, on the outside. But you have that extraordinary understanding and depth from the inside. And a few people will see that now, Libra. For some of you, wellness and beauty industry might be relevant. Maybe you're investing into that or investing into your own beauty or opening up some kind of shops and side gigs in relation to wellness and beauty. Or this might be, it could be something that you have, maybe an ornament or something that has now appreciated so much in its value. So that could be for some of you. And the last card for today, Libra, you have is a message from Cosmos, and it says investments. Further, it says investments will have positive results that will bring prosperity. Invest wisely. Yeah, so that's what this is. This is like, investing in the right places, doing your research, and holding things for a long time. It's not immediate flips or immediate instant gains. That's not what this energy is about, those flashy returns and things like that. No, you have to understand that investment, analyze it, seize it right, the pros and cons, and before you make any significant financial decisions, you need to be very practical in terms of your approach, your structure. Mix low investments, but keep them for a long term. That's what you're going to benefit from. Now, this could be investments in property or for, finances. It could also be the right connections, the time we put into our network, the people, the relationships that we build, whether for, in the neighborhoods, our friends, or at work, whatever this is, it's like invest in the right people that will, that will respect you, and everything is mutual according to me. You have to be respectful in order to get their respect back. But connecting with the right people, it just uplifts us in so many ways, spiritually, emotionally, and the same goes for them too. It's like partnerships, the right partnerships. Invest into the right resources, whether it's education or technology, whatever that is. So whatever you invest, don't be reckless and don't be impatient. Let that investment grow naturally, organically. Be patient for it to bloom. And that's when you'll get the most value out of it. So Libra, those were your messages and hope you enjoyed them. Now moving on to the sign of Aquarius. So the first card you have, Aquarius, is the King of Cups, but it's in the reverse for you. Further down it says, master your inner tides and no external storm will ever sink your ship. So King of Cups is a water element, water energy, and you are the air sign Aquarius. So I feel that, here there's this king. He's sitting with his cup, this chalice, but it's in the reverse. I feel that, Aquarius, you are learning how to balance your emotions. And I feel that it's an energy of understanding, who you are, and that feelings are real. Because for Aquarius energy, collective Aquarius energy, I have seen this a couple of times, unless you do have some water placements. For some of you, that could be the case that you have some water placements, or you're trying to, learn how to connect more with your emotions, and how to speak up, how to express what you're feeling instead of holding it back. So I feel this is an energy of maturing, when King of Cups reversed, the King energy is already there. The energy of mastery, of emotional mastery, of nurturing, of emotional intelligence is already there. And there's a lot of sensitivity, feeling, sensitive, empathy, all of that, those good qualities, the softer qualities that come with the water element is all there. It just needs to be aligned, needs to mature a little bit more. Because you might be feeling a little up and down emotionally. And because the collective Aquarian energy is more about, humanitarian grounds and intelligence and being visionaries and all of that, you might be feeling a little bit off because you're feeling a certain type of way emotionally. That might be throwing you out of balance because you don't know how to handle those emotions. So you're trying to mature and learn and understand how to be in check emotionally, I feel that you're also learning how to connect more emotionally with your friends, family, people around you, rather than always being logical, factual, intellectual. Rather than intellectualizing relationships, you're trying to connect, you're trying to bring in emotions into that. And you will be there. You're not quite then, but I feel you will be there soon. So I do feel, Aquarius, that, you are in some way restructuring, recalibrating, especially your inner world, This upside down, like the reversed energy, is about looking at things from an upside down view, like the hangman. Learns a lot. That's the energy I'm picking up with this reversed King of Cups. So I feel that there is an energy of like your mind is trying to manage your heart. But I feel that should not be the case. I feel that you need to allow your mind and heart to be independent, not your mind managing your heart. It actually, this energy is asking you to flip that narrative. It's like, allow your heart to manage or tell your mind what to do. I think that's what is needed at this point in time, is what I'm picking up on. Because, it's like you're a water sign. You're an air sign, and this King of Cups is a water sign. So there is kind of a dichotomy right there. So, I feel that, Aquarius, this energy is asking you to stop analyzing your emotions, You don't have to study your emotions. You need to feel it. That's all. Now, your ruler is Saturn. Right now, it's an Aries. Aries is the cardinal fire sign. And it's the first house energy. Aries is the first house energy of self, of who you are, of defining, redefining, reinventing yourself. It's like attention going towards yourself, inwards. To be, express who you are. It's also an element of expression. So being authentic with your expression, not performative. I feel that, Aquarius, things might be changing in your circle, like, how you deal with connections, networks, people, friends, family, how you communicate. That might be changing. I mean, you might not be used to this kind of change because I feel that there is a transformation which is going on in your emotional space. Let the transformation happen. It might feel a little distorted or uncomfortable, but you're going to feel really nice. You're going to feel nice. It's like, it's an energy of speaking from your heart, being authentic. Maybe you were too logical or strategic in your communication. I feel that mode of communication might be changing. You might be more warm, compassionate, emotionally invested, more intuitive, more empathic, and things like that might be shifting in you. And that makes Aquarians uncomfortable at times. Because you guys are always like, very up in your head. You're all about, cutting through the cutting to the truth, being real about things, being realistic, and all of that. That I feel that now you might be getting into emotional spaces, wanting more emotional connections, and all of that might be stirring up inside of you that's making you uncomfortable. Now, I feel that something is stirring this in you. It could be that you find something which is, that you have positive emotions about something, maybe a nostalgic about from the past, maybe some kind of picture album, or you see a movie of your yesterdays and some kind of, those kind of memories come flashing back and, kind of trigger these emotions in you, and you're like, no, I won't let those emotions get to me, Something like that. So I feel this energy is asking you to sit with those emotions. Nothing wrong with it. You will learn how to swim in those emotions eventually. Don't avoid it. Feel those emotions. For some of you, if you're in leadership positions, which kings normally are in leadership positions, could be at, community, home as well, and family and all of that, but you come across, as an intellectual person. Like, your ideas, your connections, your strategy, everything is good. Now people might be seeing that you're a little emotional. You're speaking, you're understanding the depths of emotions. Your management style has become softer. You feel things more now, which is completely opposite of Aquarian energy. So people might be kind of a little bit thrown off because of that as well. For some of you, you might be changing the things you talk about, instead of strategy and business plans, you might be talking about more like family, friends, and this is, more about emotional engagement. So those kind of shifts might also be something that's happening. Some of you might be, I feel that the way you express yourself, or, the responses that are coming from you in the next few days might be more emotionally driven Aquarius. I mean, the Aquarian energy generally does not get affected by, sentimental things, but you might be affected in the next few days. Like sentimentally, you might be impacted. I don't know if, like, maybe, if you feel that something's off, try to recalibrate, There's a lot of modalities to bring things into balance, to calm you down, meditate. But that might help you as well. But I feel that there's something, maybe this could be, an after effect of something of the past. Maybe I feel that your emotions, maybe you put your guard up, or I don't know, maybe you met the people that were too intellectual and not emotional at all. And that kind of turned you into kind of a hard person, but maybe you are not that, or you don't like that aspect of yourself. Maybe it's because of the past experiences as well. But I feel that I feel that, that could be resurfacing again, those kind of situations where there was more intellectual strategy thinking involved than emotional connections might be resurfacing again for some of you. Now, this is just going to be for one or two of you. If you are looking for a home, Aquarius, you need to feel it. Like, just don't get into those projections and data and profits and polls and all of that. I feel you should buy a house that you feel connected to, that feels like a home that you would want to settle in, not because it will escalate and give you a good return. That's for just one or two of you. If you're buying a house or you're planning to factor in how you feel, how you will feel living in that house versus the gains and profits you will get out of that investment or buying a house. And for some of you, I feel that if you are into some kind of creative industrial arts, you will create something which is way more powerful if you align your heart with it. So if you're really feeling something strongly about an idea versus your brain telling you to do it, if your heart is telling you to do it, because that might come out way much bigger than any of your other ideas that your brain thinks you should work on. So this is a great energy, Aquarius. I feel for you. You're warming up to people, to things, situations. And people are appreciating you for that, because everybody appreciates Aquarian mind. But now they like you, your personality too, because now you're like more warm, more human, more engaged. So I feel that your presence is more warm, emotional, responsive, accessible to people in the next few days. And people are liking this side of you. The next card you have, Aquarius, is the daffodil. And below that it says the daffodil doesn't bloom to prove something to the winter. It blooms because blooming is what it is. The winter was not its enemy. It was its preparation. Every cold day was a day the root grew stronger. Every dark night was a night the bulb concentrated its color. So you were being prepared for something, Aquarius. And I feel that, it's like growing stronger roots. That was your preparation time, keeping you grounded, keeping you solid, even through difficult times. And now that winter, those difficult times, is now finally over. The spring is here. Look how beautiful these blooms are, shining in all its glory. It's the final push. You are ready here, Aquarius. I feel that something that you planned for, went through in the last few months, maybe fall to winter, those kind of months. That was your preparatory period. That was preparing you for the version that you are becoming now. Something more beautiful, something more magnetic, more magnificent. So it's just a push that the universe gave you to, it's like a lot of pressure so that you come out on the other side stronger, more ready. It's like, it's the hopeful energy. It's the star energy in the tarot. Things are starting, post-its. Things will now start working for you. Especially, this is like a spring flower, so you might have something waiting for you in the spring months. It's like maybe people are planning something around you. Maybe you're buying daffodils. Maybe you're interested in yellow and this green color specifically your color, Aquarius. The steel color is the Aquarian color. You might be buying something along these colors or decorating your house with daffodils and things like that. But a lot of renewal, new beginnings, new chapters. This is bright future. This is planning for the future. This is like tough times are over. Whenever the 3 is there, it's like your mind, heart, body, soul. Everything is in alignment now. Your ideas, that, maybe that sounded difficult, or you were planning for it, you were preparing for it. I'm now ready to be out there into the world. Maybe you're announcing something, starting something. But it's the perkiness, it's the jump, it's the brightness that's arriving to you in your life. But nevertheless, those were, the winter symbolic of something that was in preparation mode. You were growing longer roots. Maybe it's that maybe you were trying to research something, have your resources aligned. You didn't want to announce something before things were aligned for you. But now all that is done. The work is done. The preparatory work is done. And now things will pick up speed. They will turn in your favor. I also feel that you've learned a lot in the past, your past experiences. You've learned a lot. You've overcome a lot. Maybe you had some negative experiences and now you've overcome all of that. So it's a very new beginnings kind of energy for you here, Aquarius. It could be that you reinvented yourself. Now you're a new person. And I get that from the King of Cups reversed. It's like you reinvented yourself, how you talk, how you connect with people, how you express yourself, the things that you're interested in. All of that is shifting. It feels more energizing. It feels more optimistic, hopeful. Because you've been patiently working through things. I feel that whatever experiences have shaped you into being today, you are ready for mentoring other people. It's like you have become the teacher, the guru, the mentor that people can look up to and follow advice from, because you've been there, done that, worked things out. You've organized things, you've restructured yourself, you've learned a lot, and now you're here ready to guide people, Latvia. So it's great because your ideas, your mindset, your perspectives have changed. Maybe your connections are changing, but you are now ready to uplift other people who've been in that, those who are in those, difficult situations, I feel. So, yeah, you have that inner strength. Roots are your strength, your resilience, because of how much you have endured and everything that you have endured. I do feel that, if this is related to a business that put you in a difficult spot, I feel that now you're ready with everything aligned for you in the right way. That you're feeling very ready, you're feeling very fresh, you're feeling very high in energy. For some of you, this could be that you're ready to move, relocate, or maybe just redoing your house, in a more fresher way. Getting rid of the older things, spring cleaning, a renewal in your style could also be happening. Because some of you, daffodils, you could be planting them in your garden or bringing them, decorating your home with these colors or new daffodils, paintings, and all of that. This is growth that comes after really difficult times, that's all I can see. I feel like you've pushed, and you've been strong. You've been learning so much. You've been doing the work, research, and everything. And now, oops, sorry about that noise, guys. So, yeah, so I feel that Aquarius, it's a good shift. It's a positive shift. Things will feel lighter. The weight is lifting. The heaviness is lifting. And I feel that, your perspective is changing. The way you say and do things is changing. The people that, are now coming into your circle could possibly be changing. It could also be that you're shifting things around you. Maybe you're getting interested in gardening or planting daffodils or more interested in flowers. But it's like, it's a very positive, vibrant, contagious energy that you are going to be in. Very soon, Aquarius, it's like new beginnings, new chapters. Spring is considered to be the new beginnings in a lot of cultures, New Year's energies. So Yeah, and I feel that, people might be celebrating you, planning something for you. Maybe your birthday's around the corner. If that's the case, happy birthday. Um, but yeah, positive connections. There's positive talk about you. Um, and I am also picking up that if there were some ideas or projects or proposals that you made earlier that got dismissed, people might revisit it and come back to you to talk about it. That's for some of you, because they're now able to see your vision, your approach, your your ability to see things in a different way, uniquely, and all of that. So um, people might be shifting their opinions about the projects or your proposals, and they might be coming back to you or revisiting that in some way. So in general, it's a very positive shift. And congratulations. I feel you've done the work, you've put in the work, you've invested the time, resources, energy in the right ways, the right pieces, and your growth spurt is happening right now. It's in a big, expansive, compounding way. It's, whether it's your personality, your business, your finances, whatever that is. Some of you could be into flower industry, but you're blooming like these flowers, because you have been through it. And now, you are ready. You have arrived. And the last card you have, Aquarius, is a message from Cosmos. And it says, spiritual work, open your heart to a spiritual career and heal the human heart. You are a light worker. For some of you, this could be it. Like, a lot of energy of growth and now being the mentor because you've been there, done that, been through it, has come through in your messages. And I feel that some of you could be taking it to the next level, like you've done the work and you understand the details, the amount of work, and how things align, how the inner work produces a new version of you that's aligned with your higher self, higher frequencies, and all of that. So some of you might be called into studying these modalities, or some of you might already be stepping into some kind of healing modality, whether it's through meditation, yoga, Reiki, other practices, or even other spiritual work in guiding people, studying the deeper universal laws and cosmos and skies and energy work and, some kind of healing work. I mean, 11th house energy is the house of humanitarian house, but this energy is all about your shifting from being all up in your head and logical and factual to being emotional, to stepping into, it's like your heart has cracked open. So you're a new person now with a new heart, more warmer, more chilled out, more empathic, compassionate. And I feel that could be the reason why you have been going through these changes, why the universe has been prepping you, because you're stepping into something more gigantic, more universal, more humanitarian. So breathe energy here, Aquarius. Those were your messages and hope you enjoyed them. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.